Not everyone wants a front yard like this, friends, but I do. Out in front of our front fence, we have aronia berries growing. Going to be collecting lupin seeds shortly. I planted this lavender when it was just like this big. Oh, it was maybe a little bit bigger. This big. Oh, this is my rosemary. I did rosemary, and then I did like rosemary, lavender, rosemary, lavender. So I've got rosemary here. I've got roses. I've got peonies. That is a baby linden tree, which I'm going to put into the ground. It's in a giant nursery pot. I'm going to redo my little hanging planters. I have grapevines growing across the cattle panels in the front. And you can see they are producing little baby grapes. This right here is a Josie lilac, which I got because my husband's name is Jose. And it looks like it's forming seeds. The flowers have already gone past their glory. And I did plant a lot of aronia berry. So that's a great one to plant in Washington State. It produces just bunches and bunches of berries. And they really hang on the plant for a long period of time. Birds don't even seem to really want them, but they're loaded with antioxidants. I have a lot of weeding to do, but time. This is lamb's ear that's gone to flower, and I'll be collecting seeds. And you can see here, it has babies. Here we have an autumn olive, and that one feels ripe. These berries are kind of golden and shiny. Isn't that pretty? It's tart. And then I'll save the seed. So this has quite a few berries in here. I also have another variety of autumn olive. I'm forgetting the name of it, but I think it's like golden something. One thing that's kind of cool is on the underside of the leaves. Isn't that pretty? It's golden and silvery. I'll have to show you my other one some other time. Some people don't like people to grow these because they can be invasive. But it's food, and it's on my property, and I'm watching it. I haven't seen any kind of invasive qualities so far. The French lavender just doesn't seem to hold up the same way as the English lavender. I'm going to see what I can do to salvage this. I might take cuttings, but when it was really hot, it was like 105 degrees. This plant had a lot of damage. And here we have a single gummy berry, or a gooseberry. In this planter here, you can see my calendula. Somebody told me what they said was perennial daisy. These are not daisies. It's calendula. Look at that. As soon as I saw them, I was like, oh yeah, they didn't know what it was. And look, I've got some rhubarb, which looks very ornamental here. And we have so many flowers in here. It's beautiful. This is a commoner apple tree. It's like one vertical stem, and all of the fruit grows close to it. Fortunately, these are pretty expensive compared to other varieties, but the fruit will be full size. It's very good. This is a little 10-minute garden I put together the other day. This is the other variety of autumn olive that's called golden silverberry. Isn't that pretty? It's variegated. In these PVC pipes, we've got blueberries growing, and I will need to cover these because last year the birds got to them and ate almost all the berries, but then I was able to cover it with some tulle and was able to save a good number of the berries. So that will be my strategy for this year. And all I had to do for that was I put bamboo in it, and then I put tulle around the plants, and I used clothespins. So I'll do a video showing you how I do that next time. And I've got smaller blueberries, some larger ones. Some of them actually look like they're a tree, like how woody they are. We have lots of blueberries. Over here we have cold hardy kiwis growing. And that is our beautiful cherry tree. It's full of cherries. And my husband just came home with a free bird bath. So we'll have to do a video when this gets assembled. Here we have rugosa rose, starting to form some hips. This is the best one to do if you're going to try to grow it for rose hips. And my other roses sometimes get black spot, but this is so healthy compared to all of my other rose plants. Several years ago I planted out this whole area of the property. I planted just tons of stuff. Got like Turkish hazelnut, which is doing great. Got Siberian pea shrub, which is starting to produce. This is going to be chicken fodder. Just so many plants. And I love this because it really is starting to produce shade for us. You need to create yourself some shade. I'm going to tell you what. We planted this laurel. Oh, it's been 16 years. And it was just a tiny little thing, probably up to my knee. And now this is way over my head. This is probably 25 feet tall. And the shade is so nice and cool. The rest of the yard is so hot. And I use this area down below as like a little nursery. And I do a lot of potting and projects underneath it. It's so nice and cool down here. It's like a completely different microclimate. It's just amazing. So if you're feeling too hot, you just need to plant some trees. You gotta do it. Make sure you have some nice comfortable chairs where you can sit down in the shade and take a break. Jose, what the heck is this? Why do you keep bringing pipe home? It's in my way. These are potatoes up to my hips. Aren't these beautiful? I think that fuchsia, purpley, bright pink color of these flowers, the rose campion, are just so lovely. I do collect seeds of rose campion, which could be one of the prizes if you enter the raffle. You're going to have to look through some of my older videos to see where the raffle link is so you can enter. To be eligible, you need to subscribe to my channel, and there will be other possible prizes as well. Let's water these. Rose campion. Those are the little oak trees I showed you guys I was planting, but I actually had a lot left over from my students as well. So like at least 100 or more brought them home, and then some planted extras and didn't take them home. So I'm going to be adding to this little collection here shortly. Got potatoes. These were volunteers from last year. So nice. Very thoughtful of them to come back up in just the right places. Okay, what is Jose doing over here with this? It's on my plants. What are you doing? There we go. That's better. And I have some fig cuttings in here. These are from my dad's trees, or my dad's tree. This massive, beautiful fig tree. That looks good. This is that thyme plant that I featured in one of my shorts my husband brought home for free. The homeowners were just like, it's in the way, take it home. I'm pretty sure that it has some savory in here too, and a very struggling lavender, which I might take some cuttings of and propagate and cut it back. But this smells just really fragrant and beautiful. Thyme can look kind of weedy, but that's just how it grows. So it's a beautiful plant. And these were all in my classroom. The custodian said, per district mandate, you must take these home. We have to clean your counters. So a lot of these could have been projects that would have gone home with kids. We've got a dwarf banana tree that's beautiful, and I'm kind of worried about it right here. It's been through a little stress being moved. That white stuff is diatomaceous earth, which is very natural. I've got so much going on over here. I'm gonna probably end up having Jose help me build a little farm stand where I sell some of my house plants and my perennials and annuals that I grow, because I have way too much, obviously. Like, this is, when I go back to my classroom, I'm probably going to want to take like 20 plants, and I probably have like a couple hundred plants here, because each one of these is a plant. So like I planted those from cuttings. Got lots of these spider plants or airplane plants. I've got them green or variegated. Lots of just so many choices. So I am going to definitely do some kind of little, I don't know, farm stand. I've seen a lot of people in my area doing that. So that's upcoming. And these guys like to steal my cherries. But they get them from the very top where I can't reach them anyway. But what bugs me is when they just take a nibble out of a cherry and leave the rest of it. So, but this tree is massive, so we can harvest the lower 2/3 and they can have the top. I planted this rhodie, and it was, oh my gosh, it was so tiny when I had it, and it was actually doing pretty poorly in a pot. And then I planted it in the ground, and now it's just a monster. It's awesome. I like to add something beautiful in between all of my productive plants. And of course, the productive plants are beautiful too. But isn't that rose beautiful? I'm really happy about this specimen. This is a red love apple, a red fleshed apple tree. And I'm fairly certain that either people or animals last year came and stole the fruit off of the tree. This is right next to the street, so I could see the temptation, but I was like waiting all year. there's like 2 on the plant, and I was like waiting all season, excited to try them. So I might have to put up a fence over on the side just to kind of let people know this is private property. But I mean, I would be happy to share, but I'm not. I'm not this time, because this is a very special variety, and I want to try it. See, look at all that fruit. I mean, as a kid, I remember picking plums off of some lady's tree when I was a child. I mean, if it was a kid, I don't care. But isn't this pretty? Oh, and look here, I have another autumn olive. I love these. They're so beautiful. The underside of the leaves are just this golden, shiny color. And these are not invasive. I've had so many people tell me, they're invasive, you shouldn't have them. I have not seen that to be true. Maybe there's some kind of variety of the plant that is invasive, but these have not been invasive for me. They're doing lovely, but they're not taking over. And then it doesn't seem like the birds are really going crazy over the fruit either. So hopefully that will continue to be the case, and we'll have the fruit for us. But this plant is doing just really lovely. mean, there are a couple yellow leaves on here and there, but it's doing great considering I have not watered over here in like a year. Very nice. And I wanted to show you right there in that hole, there's a woodpecker nest. If I can film it going in, I'll try to at some other time. It's really cute. I told my husband we have to keep these stumps for the wildlife, and I'm really glad we did. Right here you can see that there's Turkish hazelnuts forming on this plant. It's beautiful. My husband's over underneath the cherry tree eating some cherries. I think he was throwing some pits at me. Isn't this a beautiful tree? And I planted this very closely together with what I believe is probably a cornelian dogwood. So they're super close together, and both plants are looking healthy despite that. Look at that. I just think they're so beautiful. It's pretty. And you look up, and there's more and more. Lovely. I'm definitely going to want to do some air layering with this tree. So with hazelnuts, it's kind of cool. You can bend a stem down and just put it, like basically scratch it, maybe put a rock or a brick on it into a pot of soil, and it'll grow roots. And then once it has roots, you can cut off the rest of the branch and you have your own tree, and it's already potted and everything. So I'm definitely going to do that, and I'll do videos when I do that. Hi friends, this is Aubrey from Crybaby Sentimental Homestead. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you click like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Take care and God bless.